Welcome to Overdrive AF, the official podcast of Overdrive Fitness. My name is Ted Gerzon, and I'm joined by Gina Marie Gerzon.
What's up?
Also joined, as usual, by Titan and Rajol, and produced and delivered to you by Desi the Destroyer.
Bam, bam, bam.
Don Corleone's off in the distance today. What's up, Don?
They're sunbathing.
Yes. Again, another beautiful Monday in New York. As long as you're avoiding human contact, right?
Yeah. People aren't washing their hands enough, I guess.
Yeah. It's disgusting. Coronavirus has taken over our lives. I mean, as for us, we're not afraid of it because we're normal human beings that, wash our hands, shower, cover our mouths when we cough. We're not some pieces of shit.
I think it's exposing all the unsanitary people.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that.
And old people.
Desi and I.
No offense to the old people. So.
Just wash your hands.
Yeah.
Wash all your bits, people.
Pretty good way to put it. So, yeah.
Use common sense.
We're not afraid of that, so we're not even really spend much time on that, so fuck that topic. Daylight savings time. That was this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We lost an hour of sleep.
Damn
I've
it.
quadrupled my caffeine intake just for the morning today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm already 1,000 milligrams in. And, no, I'm kidding. 1250. And yesterday was International Women's Day.
Woo!
So, it was about, acknowledging stuff that empowers women, like women's suffrage. So you no longer have to suffer. I think that's what that means. Right?
Yes,
no, it's the right
definitely.
to vote. I know this.
In the year 2020.
We can bring this back to
women.
1920. No, I'm kidding.
Yep, to be strong and beautiful.
Yes.
Continuing.
We are continuing to empower women.
Which we do every day at Overdrive. We love our strong ladies. Our ladies are all beautiful. We love our strong ladies.
Especially our female athletes.
That's what I just said.
No, I'm just saying, we have a lot of great testimonials and just overall success with our adult female clients.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But the female athletes.
Oh, the athletes, yes, of course.
They've been holding it down. So, Jen over at Stack just recently recorded her 100th career point for St. Thomas Aquinas College's women's lacrosse program.
What about Casey?
Casey Hannon over at Stack she's been scoring.
Yeah.
And which is great because she transferred in from Sacred Heart and was not allowed to shoot at all. So look what happens. You let the girl shoot. Shoot or shoot, Casey. Caitlin Baruso, first career college hit, also a grand slam.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what could it get any greater than that? So that's dope. Sarah Serback, also at Stack.
Oh my God!
Missed her whole freshman year.
She's a fireball
of college basketball. Comes back and she's on the court.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was over 30 minutes a game. She's starting every game, so she killed it. Zoe and Malbert over at NYIT or New York Tech, I think they go by now. Also college basketball. She just was recently named third team all conference in the ECC. And I mean, we could just keep going and going.
Let's even shout out one of our own coaches here, Lauren Kahn, who just started as the Iona head coach, lacrosse head coach,
Lauren Kahn.
And her girls are on fire right now too. She's leading with some dominance there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say so?
I think
an All-American in her own right.
I think that program won 1 or 2 games in the last 2 seasons, and then this is her first season there. She's already notched 3 wins. So I think they're 3-2 or something like that, maybe 3-3. But, jeez, I know that program definitely did a 180. So shout out to all those female athletes that have just popped in my head real quick. But we have plenty more. So, we are in the spring season. So, it's the season of softball, baseball, lacrosse, tennis, and track and field. So, excuse me. Today, as far as sports performance, we're going to talk about the importance of in-season training. I am uncontrollably gassy right now.
Oh, God.
At least they're top burps and not bottom burps.
Thank God.
So, in-season training. It's extremely important. A lot of athletes come in here, they work their ass off in the off-season. I think we've alluded to it before in this podcast. And then when their season starts, they just disappear. They don't do anything. And, I don't mean, they just stop coming to Overdrive. They just don't do any type of lifting or anything in season at all. And all of a sudden, there's a huge drop-off in strength. Mm-hmm. Well, when it comes to in-season training, one of the quotes I like to refer to is from Joe Ken, who was the strength conditioning coach of the Carolina Panthers. He was voted the 2015 Strength Conditioning Coach of the Year by his peers in the NFL. And he says, the number one transferable trait from the weight room to the field is confidence. So, basically, if you're strong, you're confident. Period, stop, end of story. Now, why would you spend a whole off-season getting stronger, getting more powerful, increasing your work capacity, or aka your conditioning, to only just go right into your sport, beat your body up, and then just throw all that training away, right? The reason why in-season training is so important is because you need to focus on power maintenance, right? You need to be able to keep as much strength as you can, keep as much of your power that you've created as you can, so you can avoid a steep drop-off in your power production, power output. When it comes in season training, things are different. So I know that people sometimes are afraid because they're like, I don't want to be sore all the time. Well, guess what? When it comes to in-season training, soreness and fatigue, it's undesirable. It's not what we're chasing. It's actually what we're trying to avoid. We want to just stimulate the body enough to where you can keep your strength levels as high as they were, or at the high levels that you created in the off season. Remember, when it comes to in-season training, training is maintenance. It's secondary to your sport. Your sport is the primary thing that you're doing when your season starts. Going along here, checking my notes. So, back to soreness and fatigue. Yes, it's undesirable, right? So how do you avoid it when it comes to in-season training? Well, that comes in the form of communication. Sounds like a big word, right? I may have actually pronounced that properly and not put the emphasis on the wrong syllable there, but it seems like a taboo word for some reason for a lot of athletes, I would say ages 20 and younger, but that actually requires these things called words spilling out of your mouth. Most people today actually know how to communicate through their thumbs onto this glass screen, which then projects words that are visually absorbed. But yeah, if you don't communicate, and obviously I'm being extremely fucking sarcastic, a lot of kids today don't know how to communicate. They know how to stare awkwardly. Mm-hmm. They know how to follow you on social media, but they don't know actually how to say hi, please, thank you, and excuse me. So if anybody out there is listening to this and that's you, grow the fuck up learning how to communicate. If that's your kids, I'm not going to say smack them, but maybe smack some sense into them. I don't know. I'm kidding. I don't advocate for violence unless it's necessary. But back to in-season training. Yes, it's just that simple. Communication is going to be key. You want to always avoid soreness and fatigue. You only really need it at minimum twice a week. You can train up to 4 days a week. But again, the emphasis is on recovery. So your workouts are going to be totally different. And they should be. It's not even something that we do. It's just a general rule. Your in-season training workout should be completely different. Or not completely, but the goal is different. Okay? When it comes to conditioning, I know some kids will avoid working out here in season because they don't want to do any conditioning. Guess what? Based on your test readings that you do when you get in here, whether it be your vertical jump or a plyo push-up, anything like that, you may not get any conditioning for the day because you're showing us that your central nervous system's shot. Because, who knows, your fucking baseball coach is making you run 3 miles a day at practice, which, if you're doing that for baseball and softball, or you're a sprinter, what the fuck are you doing? Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any sense. Not going to rant on that right now. But yes. The key. Oh, I think Titan bottom burped.
Whoa.
That's in my mouth.
That's
I just
bad.
tasted that. It's actually like it's
Titan.
It bypassed my mouth and went straight to my throat.
Desi, I'm sorry.
Woo! And the fan is blowing it towards me. If a fart could carry
Today's
coronavirus,
Monday.
that might be the one. That is fucking lethal.
Titan, what happened?
I think we know what happened.
Does that count as an interruption?
That's an interruption. So, what was the over-under? I think it was 2.5, right? So we're at 2 right now because he barked, and so he top barked and bottom barked.
Were you paid off this week?
Yeah, who's paying?
Who were you paid off this week in treats? Who gave them to you? Who said? Who promised?
In-season training keeps you strong, keeps you powerful. You should do it. If you don't know how to do it, contact us at Overdrive Fitness. I am done before I rant about anything stupid that sport coaches start to do this time of year. So,
well, that'll just have to be on another podcast then.
Yes,
because
but
there's plenty of that, unfortunately.
It's a great segue because when coaches get right into shit like this and they do it wrong and they wind up beating up their athletes in the short preseason leading up to the start of their regular season, some of those athletes come in here asking for your services specifically on massage therapy for injury and recovery.
Yes.
Which is topic number 2.
Yes.
See how smooth that segue
was?
was?
Good, boob.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was kind of like as smooth as the first 7 times I hit on you and got nowhere. I'm kidding. I'm not going to make this awkward, but I am. Got somewhere, I think.
Yeah,
Shoot.
Massage therapy for recovery and injury and recovery, I'm sorry. So I've been a New York State licensed massage therapist for over 15 years. I've been working with all different types of people, from the very sedentary to the athletic, rehab-based body work, manual therapy to relaxation work to it's run the gamut. I've had the opportunity to work with all different types of people, and still to this day, I have a space here at Overdrive that I use for that on a weekly basis. Massage therapy, obviously, physical therapists use it. Some physical therapists choose to use it. Chiropractors, athletic trainers, osteopaths, and such. Those that are certified and licensed to put their hands on people. As a New York State licensed massage therapist, I am licensed to put my hands on people and work within those techniques of the soft tissue. So we're allowed to work with the soft tissue, the muscles, the tendons, things like that. We don't specifically work with the bones. The bones are there. We don't specifically work with the joints unless we're indirectly we do, but we don't do joint manipulation and things like that. We always stay within our scope of practice. So when our athletes come in and they're sore from overuse, they're sore from, God forbid, injury, or they're in pain due to injury, and injuries are going to happen in sports. I mean, that's just a given. You could be the most conditioned, the strongest athlete out there, and sometimes, injuries will just happen. It just happens. It could be a contact injury. It could be an overuse injury. It could be a lack of use injury. and such. But massage therapy is there to help the athlete, the person, recover, to bring blood to the area, to allow for nutrients to get to the tissue, to allow for more mobility when there is lack of mobility or lack of flexibility through the tissue itself. There are times when massage therapy is indicated, and there are times when massage therapy is not indicated or contraindicated. If an athlete or if someone is immediately post surgery, there are certain indications as per the injury or the surgery itself. We need to communicate with the doctors, we need to communicate with the physical therapists or the chiropractors or the athletic trainers and everybody needs to work together to get that athlete back on the field, on the court, whatever the case, on the mat, whatever that is. Our goal, we always treat each athlete, each person that comes in here the same. If it's strength training, massage therapy, everybody is an individual. So regardless of what the books say, regardless of what you've learned in the past, everybody's treated as an individual. So what might work for one person might not work for the other. There are different modalities or massage styles or techniques that can be used to help alleviate, to help bring about healing faster. Lighter touch, softer touch, faster, slower. The goal is always to heal. The goal is always to recover. And at the end of the day, that's what massage therapy does. It, again, brings blood to the tissue, and blood brings nutrients to the tissue. We want to see that. We want to feel that delivery. We want to feel the effects of the massage. We want that person or that athlete to always leave feeling better than when they came in. Unfortunately, I don't want to say unfortunately, but I just finished working with a client that I've known for quite some time, and we kind of just touched base again this week, and he came in for a session. He trains avidly 6 or 7 days a week. He does Spartan races. He does strength train. He does do CrossFit. He's been doing CrossFit for quite some time. He's had some nagging issues with his foot, ankle, and his shoulder. So he was told by his physical therapist to refrain from any overhead activity for over a month. So we were working on that, and before we had touched base again, and I'd started working with him again as of today. I guess he had a couple of sessions with whomever he had been working with recently. It's not always about the harder you go, the more you beat the person up, the better they'll get, or the better the results will be. More is not always better. It's important, just like in the strength training, or just like in the training here with our athletes and our members, we need to communicate with each other. We always want to see a better result from when the person comes in. So when I assess them on the table, when I speak to them before the massage session begins, we find out what's going on. We assess that part of the body or those parts of the body that are or aren't allowing for that range of motion to happen, or allowing for that movement to happen, or the pain, where the pain is cited, and we figure out where it's coming from. And it's not always the site of pain that needs to be worked on, guys. We need to figure out what is going on above and below that issue. And at the end of the day, if you're getting bruised constantly, if you're black and blue the next day after a massage, that's not always a good thing. Is it possible that you can be a little sore on the skin or a little bit deeper to the skin because of the manipulation that's gone on for the 30 minutes or the hour or the 90 minutes of manual therapy that you've had? Yeah, that's very possible. We want to always check in and say, are we feeling better than before the session? So I always check in 24 hours after every massage therapy appointment, every client, athlete that I have, to check in to see how they're feeling. I know with both of us too, because we've competed in the past and even now, Body work is very important to what we do to keep us moving. And not only is it important to communicate with your therapist or your chiropractor or your athletic trainer or your physical therapist or whomever is doing the body work, the soft tissue work on you, but normally I go over care post massage session. So whether it's stretches or some sort of corrective exercise that I would suggest post massage and leading into the days and the weeks after, if they could start to implement that, that's always important. I mean, I'm trying to hit all the main points here about why massage is so important. Besides the fact that it allows you to feel better, touch is extremely important. It's extremely healing. But in regards to getting that athlete back on the field, or in between training or training sessions, or in between like an AM PM session, or in between races, you'll notice that massage therapists will also be there on the sidelines, or on the sidelines of the field, or just to take care of them in between sets, or in between sessions, or in between plays. It's just to allow that athlete to get back on the field, or to get them back moving better and feeling better. So it's not always about how hard can I go or how much pressure can I apply. It's what's going to make that person or that athlete or that area feel better. We want to bring more mobility back. We want to bring more flexibility back. We want to bring nutrients to the area so that everything can move better. So that's always the goal, guys. That's always the goal, is to emphasize recovery. I can go on and on about this too. There's so many different avenues that I can go down.
I mean, most injuries happen because of overcompensations. And okay, that's interruption number 3. That is the second
Somebody
part.
wants some money today.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh my God.
Titan! He wanted to wait till I was done, I guess.
I mean, that smell is the
Sorry.
opposite of delicious.
Desi! Oh my God. Woo!
Goodness gracious.
What were you saying, Teddy?
I don't know, but his digestive system needs God.
Spring cleaning.
Jeez.
The first day of spring sports. Spring.
Tight end. So yeah, basically what I was saying is that, what I'm getting at is that, most injuries happen due to overcompensation. So, like, let's say you have tight ankles and you wind up hurting your knee. Well, it's not so much that you need your knee worked on, or that you have knee pain. Or let's say even someone has elbow pain because they have terrible external rotation in their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Well, people will come to you saying, like, I need you to work on my elbow.
Right.
Meanwhile, what you tend to do is you always keep in mind that, the body moves as basically one large interconnected system. So if there's one part of the body that is all jammed up, then yes, you will experience pain upstream or downstream from that joint or that area. So, when it comes to massage for injury and recovery, the right approach when it comes to massage will help find that problem area, restore proper movement back to it, which will then speed up the recovery to alleviate the pain,
Right.
as opposed to maybe doing it by yourself with a Theragun if you have pain in your knee and just blasting away your quad. It might not be your quad. So instead of trying to take care of everything by yourself, go to a professional who will look at it from a different perspective and say, like, all right, your knee pain's not coming from your quad, it's coming from your locked up hip,
Right.
or your locked up ankle, or the fact that your glute isn't firing on your left side because you're hiked up on your right hip or whatever it is. Like, you're only,
Right.
I don't know as much because you're you're in the trenches when it comes to actually getting in there and seeing all the different cases.
And also,
of
too, like,
problems.
even though you see something and you might ask somebody, okay, let me just walk for me for a second. Or even if they're on the table, okay, go through range of motion. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Let's see what that looks like. You feel things. So that knowledge that's coming through the fingertips when you're working with people, too, communication, and I mean, it scares me sometimes to see, well, I was rolling out with a lacrosse ball and then they're all bruised up. And I'm just like, oh my God. Or when people tell me, oh, well, I went to whomever they went to and it was like a torture session. And I'm just like, every session is a torture session. And I'm like, that's not...
Or what about this? It's like...
that's not what it's about all the time. Like, it's not about how much can I beat them up. It's like, the point is you want this person to come back. You want them to come back, but you want them to refer you out. Yes, you want good feedback from that person. And if they don't come back because they're feeling better, then we were able to do the right job for that person. And at the end of the day, if someone comes in, well, I did this, that, and the other thing, just like so and so. Yes, but just because that person had that happen to them, might not be for the same reason. So let's figure out why. At the end of the day, it's very individual. Just like with our athletes, we could have two of the same baseball athletes or two of the same lacrosse athletes, but they have two very different things going on. So we have to cater to that individual athlete or that individual person.
No, I was saying, like, imagine, what about the people that are like, if they can't go overhead? Maybe their muscles aren't pliable enough, or who knows? Like, they might automatically think that it's poor thoracic extension. So what'll they do? Lay supine on a fucking keg and have somebody push their arms overhead even more. It's like, yeah, that seems like a great approach. Let's just force you through pain because, you need to be the best at exercising.
Right.
Instead of just moving
and just like teaching people how to breathe properly. And, like, these are all things that I go through with the clients during that session. Is it, is it a breathing issue? Is it, people don't understand breathing into their belly, bracing, what that's about. I mean, and these are people that have been, quote unquote, training or exercising for decades. So that in itself is scary. It's really scary, but it's a whole relearning process. And even the athletes here too, everybody's a chest breather. Nobody breathes through their belly just for them to breathe through their belly. A lot of our gymnasts too. The coaches tell them, it looks ugly. You can't breathe through your belly. Breathe through your chest. We don't want to see your belly moving in and out. And that's dysfunction right there.
Yeah. It's
dysfunction. Dysfunction. You're not functioning well. So we have to think about those things. And it always starts from the foundational component. So we have to kind of work off of that all the time. People don't realize sometimes how much knowledge that we have between the two of us and individually. Like, I'm sorry, it's 16 years. It's been over 16 years that I've been a massage therapist. I said 15. Sorry. But the point is that, you acquire knowledge from all the years of doing things and all the types of people that you've worked with over the years. And at the end of the day, it's about, having all those different types of people to work on and to work with that will allow you this education, and allow us to speak the way we speak and get through to all these people. We practice what we preach, in all different ways, shapes, and forms. It's unfortunate that people seem to feel like, as a massage therapist, oh, well, when I go on my cruise every year, I get a massage. Well, that's great too. Sometimes you just need to relax, but it just depends on what the focal point of that bodywork session is. If it's just to relax, or as an athlete, I tore my calf 6 months ago, I had plantar fasciitis in both feet, or I tore my labrum. I'm just saying, like, okay, so when was that, and how old were you when that happened? And these are all things that, all of these things, they affect everything else that goes on in your life. So we ask the questions because we have to. That's going to help us to get to the solution. We don't just run people through I don't just throw somebody on the table and be like, okay, your hour's up, let's go. You know, I mean, I take a lot of time with my clients, and I ask the questions, and they fill out their paperwork, and we go over everything, and we check in during the session, and we communicate. It's important, you know. It's unfortunate that sometimes people will only use massage therapy. Oh, well, you know, I get it at physical therapy. Well, what do you get, 15 minutes of just a basic massage? Or, you know, go to somebody who's knowledgeable. Like, I'm just saying. Or, oh, you know, I go to the chiropractor and they do the chair massage for 10 minutes before I see my chiropractor. Well, I mean, we have to remember what the focal point is of that. Mm-hmm. Is it a teaser? Is it just to loosen up the tissue, like real quick, so that the chiropractor it makes their job easier to adjust the bones, you know, that kind of thing. It doesn't do the same effect. So you come in for a massage therapy session or soft tissue work, what's the focal point? You know, what's the focal point? So at the end of the day, go to somebody who's knowledgeable, ask the questions, and you'll see the results.
Boom.
Boom.
And if you want to work with a massage therapist that has treated numerous world champion powerlifters, pro athletes, and then, you know, all your gen pop everyday people that just want to move better, feel better, hit up Gina. Gina at overdrivefitnessny.com. Boom.
Just trying to educate.
Yes. So, you know, massage therapy for injury and recovery is great in, you know, freeing up those tight areas throughout the body, those, you know, where maybe there's a lot of junk and garbage built up. But when it comes to removing junk and garbage, who else is better at that than Rockland Junk? We didn't even practice that. What? Boom.
That was pretty good, Teddy.
Solid. It's almost like we're married.
Yep.
So, yes, Rockland Junk. We mentioned them before because they've sponsored us before. They continue to sponsor us. Thank you, Rockland Junk. But remember, what we've said before and reminded you guys about Rockland Junk is that they can remove junk for you. But for those of you that don't need their hands-on approach, they can just haul it away for you. Meaning, let's say, you know, it's starting to get nicer out, you're doing a little renovation on your house, you put a little addition on, or you built a shed in your backyard, you have some materials that you need to throw out, all right? Maybe all you need is just to rent a container, a little dumpster, right? So hit up Rockland Junk, 845-475-8523. They can drop that off at you, to you. You fill it, they take it away, that's it. Saves you on labor because you're doing it yourself. Sometimes it's the best way to do it, and they'll be happy to do that for you. So, again, hit up Rockland Junk, 845-475-8523. Tell them that Overdrive Fitness sent you, and they will take great care of you. All right? Speaking of purging unnecessary things, let's talk about our TC5 Transformation Challenge 5 winners.
Yep.
Greg, Larry, and Rob. Jinx, buy me Coke. Stop saying things the same time I say them.
You owe me a cupcake.
Fuck.
How's that?
That should be a tutorial video. How to eat a cupcake like a professional. We can uncrack the code.
Does not have to be for time, though. Just...
Why you gotta look right at me when you say that?
Okay.
So I like to eat fast.
I'm just saying.
Alone. But yeah, big shout out to Greg, Larry, and Rob for losing mucho weight in this past challenge. This last challenge was teams of 3.
Teams of 3.
And they lost 10, 15, and 25 pounds respectively. Anything to say about that?
They were all in.
Yeah.
They were all in from the get-go, and they pushed hard these past 6 weeks. I know Rob is a fireman, and, you know, he did the best that he could with getting here as often as he could. And I do know that every time he was here, he loved being here, and he felt better when he left. He loves training at Overdrive. He loves the atmosphere. He loves how he feels after he leaves. His strength did go up every time he was here. We did notice that because we document everything, right? We document everything to give our members the best experience possible and to give them that one-on-one personal training type experience in that group atmosphere, which I think we do a great job of. Greg, Larry, and Rob were a nice team, a team of 3. That they really brought it, right?
Yeah, and I mean, going back to Rob too. I mean, 25 pounds, 6 weeks, and then it was like 5% body fat. I mean,
and sometimes he had overnight shifts.
the guy crushed it,
guys. So when there's a no excuses mentality, and your health is on the line, and you put you start working those daily habits as best you can.
You will definitely see change.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what did they win besides getting healthier, right? So they won 3 weeks worth of meals from Heated Inc.
Heated Inc.
If you want to check them out, getheat3d.com. They are our number one
meal prep service.
Corey. Yes, Corey is the owner, and we've been working with him for well over a year now. Is it 2 years?
I think it's 2 years, Teddy.
Holy crap. I don't know.
At least 2 years, I think.
Every week I place the order, we get our meals for the week, and I stuff my face. And if something wasn't delicious, we wouldn't continue to keep ordering. So obviously it's fucking awesome. Especially the weekly cheat meals. Anybody that hires Corey services, you definitely want to check those out.
Yep,
right?
He has the meals. You can order macro friendly. You can order exactly what you need, your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. They can be 15 different meals if you want, or 20 different meals if you want. And then he has his weekly specials, his quote-unquote healthy cheat meals that he can make. Each week he'll change it up, and he'll give you something that you might find on a restaurant menu, a healthy version of that. So he allows you to stay within your macros or your target range of calories and still hit your goal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's getting that. So that's worth about $100 right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then all 3 of the winners all received a free month of Weekday Warrior training for Strength, Renegade, and Sweat, and 4 personal training sessions. So that's overall right there. Everyone that won, not only did they get healthier, but congrats to Larry, Rob, and Greg, because you've all won over $500 worth of awesome shit.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats. Stay on track. Do not put it back on, or I will throat punch you. No, Gina will throat punch you. I'll double leg drop kick you to the throat. No, but honestly, great job to all 3
Great
of you
job, guys. Yep, Greg, Larry, and Rob. Awesome work. And to everybody in the most recent Transformation Challenge, everybody busted their butts. Everybody worked hard. We had people coming here from all over too, and working late and getting their weigh-ins in and getting their training in and doing the best they can within, their day-to-day.
Yeah.
So, it's all about good habits, getting that transformation going, and holding strong. So
it's definitely our best transformation challenge to date, because everybody lost.
Everybody.
So when it comes to transformation challenges, obviously everyone's going to only highlight the winners and the people that did the best, but this is the best challenge to date, because literally every participant lost weight and body fat,
and a nice amount. Everybody looks different. It's great. It's so great.
Competition is great, especially something like this. It helps hold people accountable. But in the sense of the last 6 weeks, we are very proud, because everybody, they are on the right path to getting healthier, which is what we're here to do. We're here to get you in much better shape, make a better version.
And it's not just about the 6 weeks. It's about, right? We're they're learning. They started to learn different daily habits, healthy habits that they can sustain for a very long time, for the long term.
And that not every workout
It wasn't
needs to be balls
not
to
some
the wall.
crazy, not some crazy 6-week, let's, insane, don't eat, no carbs kind of thing. It's about learning healthy habits and allowing learning to sustain those healthy habits for the long term.
Sugar is toxic. Only eat organic. Yeah, we don't do that bullshit.
Oh, God.
6 weeks of actually living your life and losing weight. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Yeah, that's what we deliver. Suck it. But closing remarks? Anything? Closing remarks. Bringing back the coronavirus. For those of you that lost weight on this, which was everybody, and you want to keep it off, go catch that corona. I guarantee you'll lose even more.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I was just kidding. But also corona related, I did hear this morning that corona prices have dropped because there are actually a large amount of stupid people in this country that think that the virus is related to the beer, so it's actually hurt sales of corona beers.
Oh, God.
Amazing.
The game of telephone.
Yeah, I need to find all these dumb people because they could probably be sold on something that we should be willing to capitalize on.
Oh, gosh. And we're going to be ordering our Carbs Rule Everything Around Me shirt. So if anybody else wants to order that t-shirt, our Overdrive t-shirt of the cream Carbs Rule Everything Around Me, our Wu-Tang logo with Titan on it, you guys have to let us know ASAP because we're putting those orders in this week.
Yes, they are.
I think they came out great
on Wednesday. So that's Wednesday, March 11th. But yeah, if you want that shirt, overdrivefitnessny.com. Check out the store right there on the website. There's men's and women's cuts. Just click it, send it, boom. April 13th, TC6. That'll be our next challenge and the last one we run for a while. So if anybody wants another little kick in the pants to get shredded for the unofficial start to summer, which is Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Or it's the official start to summer.
Get it right, get it tight for the summer.
Okay, I can deal with that. I like that. I like that. And
I know Desi's on it.
Yeah. Desi's getting a mic next episode. End of fucking story.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah, that's all I got. So
takeaways from today. So
oh yeah. In-season training. Just fucking do it. Unless you want to be weak and sit the bench and cry and get your ass kicked all the time, continue to be strong because you put in the work in the off-season. And for some of you, let's be honest, you're not going to play a lot this year. That's not a bad thing. You just may be, let's say, a freshman on varsity. You're just not going to get a lot of time, or a sophomore in varsity. Take advantage of the time. You should always want to be the strongest, fastest, most in-shape person in any sport, on any team, right? So if you're not playing, then that means that your central nervous system still has leeway that you can be taxed. Fucking lift. Get in the weight room. Or come here. Lift with us. We'll get you strong.
And like Joe Ken said, right? That the number one transferable trait from the weight room to the field is confidence. Mm-hmm. So get in the weight room and train. Get your in-season training in. Mm-hmm. Get it in. Because there's a specific reason why we do training, and even training prior to their game or their match or their whatever. That is on purpose. There's a certain style and a certain way we do things to allow for that to happen, to increase that confidence too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And massage therapy for injury and recovery. Go to somebody that you trust. Go to somebody who's knowledgeable. Go. Massage therapy, soft tissue work is extremely important for injury and recovery. There are plenty of times when things are indicated and not indicated, just like the training, just like training, just like massage, just like anything else. There's a reason to do it and when not to do it. Sometimes when you just need to be in a cast and rest, be in a cast and rest. But there will be a time and a place for that soft tissue work to happen. it is important to allow your body to recover properly and to get back into training and on the field or in your sport ASAP, or doing your work, doing your daily activities. Right?
Mm-hmm. And again, big shout out to the TC5 winners, Greg, Larry, and Rob. That's all I've got. How about you?
I think we covered everything.
Yeah, we hit the over on interruptions, but we had a curveball in the interruptions, so we assumed it would just be barking. Titan has surprised us with bottom barking. Silent bottom barking.
Silent bottom barking.
And so we're going to raise the line for interruptions next week to 4.5.
That was bad.
Yeah.
That was really bad.
Terrible.
Desi was spared a bit, though, because he has the fan behind him.
Yeah, but he had the gun pointed at his head.
Oh, I missed that part. Titan.
Yeah.
Silence. Oh, my God. Here we go.
Did it again?
Yes!
All right, we are at 4 interruptions.
Titan!
Right before the close of the show. It's like someone's pulling his finger.
Oh, my God. Thank God the doors are open.
All right, that's it. That's it. I had enough. I can't sit here and swallow these farts anymore. We are wrapping this episode up. We'll catch you next week. Again, Overdrive AF. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.